Emmerdale has confirmed Billy Fletcher's decision to leave the village after discovering that Kev Barton was responsible for attacking him at the depot and abandoning him there. Kev's drunken admission made Billy realise that Joe Tate had not been behind the assault. He also discovered that Dawn had deceived him about what happened because she wanted Billy to support her plan to escape the village. At the beginning of tonight's episode, Billy confronted Kev and asked him directly whether Joe had ordered the attack. Kev attempted to downplay the situation, claiming it was never specifically aimed at Billy and that he had simply become involved in something unrelated to him. However, he admitted that Caleb and Ruby Milligan were aware of what had happened. Billy later tried to speak with Dawn at the cafe, but Joe quickly took her away before they could talk. Billy then headed to the Milligans, although they responded with weak explanations rather than giving him the answers he wanted. Caleb insisted that Joe was still a terrible person, regardless of whether he had arranged the attack, reminding Billy of everything Joe had done to him. Furious, Billy branded Caleb a poisonous little snake and warned him to leave both him and Dawn out of their personal conflict with Joe. After discussing the situation with Marlon Dingle at the pub, Billy concluded that the truth needed to be revealed. He returned to Home Farm in an attempt to speak with Dawn once again. Before Billy could reveal what he had discovered, Dawn desperately explained her situation. She told him that if he no longer wanted to help, she would take the children and leave by herself, because she could not bear having them around Joe any longer. Dawn also reminded Billy that, despite their relationship ending, he remained the one person she could depend on. She praised the role he had played in the children's lives and urged him to continue with their escape plan by arranging passports and booking tickets. Billy ultimately chose to keep quiet about what he knew regarding the attack. Instead, he reassured Dawn that he was completely committed to helping her and the children leave the village. However, Caleb and Ruby are determined to stand in their way. In the closing moments, they warned Billy that the fake passports would not be handed over until they had carried out their revenge against Joe on his wedding day. With the escape plan now in danger, Billy faces another major dilemma. Will he manage to get Dawn and the children safely out of the village? Emmerdale reveals Serena's connection to D.S. Ramsden, as fans are left stunned. It appears that Serena Sugden is hiding several secrets in Emmerdale. Viewers will remember that Serena first arrived in June after coming to the aid of a distressed Charity Dingle. Following their emotional encounter, Serena travelled to the village to reconnect with her long-lost cousin, Robert Sugden. The former police officer was drawn into the drama last week after arriving at Jacob's Fold shortly after Sarah Sugden accidentally caused Dr. Caitlin Todd's death. Charity had revealed that Todd had assaulted her, prompting Sarah to push the villain towards the doorway. Todd then stumbled over a rug and struck her head on the edge of a table, leaving her fatally injured on the floor. Serena helped Charity and Sarah make the incident appear to have been an act of self-defense by using Todd's lifeless hand to scratch Charity's arm. She then departed before the police arrived, warning Charity and Sarah not to mention her involvement. After being questioned by new officer D.S. Thea Ramsden, Charity was released on bail while the investigation continued. Serena later visited the police station to provide her own account of what had happened. Serena initially behaved as though she had never met D.S. Ramsden, but it has now emerged that the pair actually share a close friendship. During Monday's August 17th episode, which is available to stream on ITVX, Thea travelled to Butler's farm to see Serena, and the two women greeted each other with a friendly embrace. Thea questioned Serena about why she was protecting Charity. Serena explained that the authorities had failed Charity, so she was determined to guide her through the situation before things became even worse. Serena then asked Thea to keep her updated if fresh evidence emerged or if any difficulties developed. Thea insisted that she would not interfere with evidence, although she promised to help wherever possible. Later, Thea made a surprising request, asking Serena to uncover some information that could be used against the Tates. This immediately raised questions about why the police officer has such a strong interest in the powerful family at Home Farm. Serena's connection with Thea has also been discussed by the actress who plays her at a recent Emmerdale event in Leeds. She explained that the mysterious person Serena had been secretly messaging was actually Thea, describing them as extremely close friends who have known each other for a long time. The actress revealed that Serena had told her best friend about traveling to Emmerdale, only for Thea to ask her for a favor. Serena therefore became involved in gathering information for Thea, while simultaneously dealing with her own complicated problems in the village. She also explained that Serena had not originally wanted to hide their friendship. Instead, she was simply trying to respect Thea's request and protect the secret between them. However, things have become increasingly complicated now that Thea is investigating a case connected to Serena. The actress teased that the friendship could face plenty of challenges as the storyline develops. So, what exactly is Thea hiding, and why is she determined to find information about the Tates? Fans will have to keep watching to discover the truth. Emmerdale confirms Caleb's ruthless revenge scheme in early release episode. Emmerdale has revealed more details about Caleb Milligan's dark plan to get revenge on Joe Tate, following the revelation that Kev Barton was actually responsible for attacking Billy Fletcher at the depot. Billy had spent several weeks believing that Joe, who is engaged to his former wife Dawn, had ordered the assault. However, he finally learned the truth earlier this week. The revelation complicated Billy's plans to escape the village with Dawn. He confronted Caleb and Ruby after discovering that they were aware of what had happened, but the pair remained determined to carry out their revenge against Joe. The episode ended with Caleb and Ruby refusing to give Billy and Dawn the fake passports they needed until their revenge mission was complete. This left Billy and Dawn facing another obstacle as they attempted to decide what to do with their future. In Friday's episode of the ITV soap, Dawn revealed that she believed they needed to leave the Dales straight away. Billy knew they could not get very far without the passports, so he tried once again to persuade Caleb and Ruby to reconsider. However, neither of them was willing to change their position. Billy later met Dawn and explained that Caleb and Ruby wanted Joe to suffer humiliation during his wedding day. Dawn made it clear that she refused to take part in hurting Joe and decided to continue with their escape plan, regardless of whether they had the passports. Meanwhile, Kev attempted to repair his relationship with Billy, but nearly exposed their secret when Dawn questioned why the two men appeared to know each other so well. They quickly covered their tracks by claiming that Billy was helping Kev with a fitness program. Billy then received a message from Caleb, forcing him to deal with the situation discreetly. While Ruby worked on a deal to purchase Jimmy King's haulage business, Billy contacted Dawn and claimed that he was caught in motorway traffic. In reality, he was secretly negotiating with Caleb, who eventually promised to provide the passports the following morning. Later that evening, Caleb and Ruby celebrated with champagne, and it became increasingly obvious that their plans involving Jimmy were connected to their wider scheme against Joe. With Joe eagerly anticipating his wedding day, Caleb delivered a chilling warning about what was to come, declaring that the occasion would become the worst day of his rival's life. Emmerdale airs on weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1, or you can stream episodes from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.